We can all stretch out.
Put up the digestion, moving it down.
Hey, Rick.
How are you doing?
Okay, we're getting ready to start.
Can we get Rick's microphone to go up more? Hold on, Rick, we're adjusting the mic for you.
Okay, I can hear you pretty good.
We got this other one down. Pretty warm.
I never got anything from the post office yet.
For what?
Meeting package.
What's that?
The meeting package.
Oh.
I said he may plan delivery first, reverses route today. I may have it on one slot, so I'll keep an
Can
eye.
you turn that mic up? Rick, could you say test a couple of times for us, bro? What's the number on that mic?
Yes. Hey, want me to say it the normal way?
Okay, yeah, I want you to talk just like that, because we can hear that.
Yeah, okay, good.
Everybody out there able to hear Rick's mic? Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on. Yeah. But it takes a second for me to respond to that.
We'll promise you we won't put you on mute, okay?
All right, thank you.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. Before we get started with the pledge of allegiance, I'd like to thank everybody that's come to be here. We'll have a moment of silence and then we'll continue. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. If everyone can be seated, please. Could we please have the call of the roll?
I have Dennis Gall. Bill Evans,
Here.
Dave Tuller,
Here.
June Michael. Here. Mike Dell,
Here.
Rick Adler,
Rick?
Here, I can't hear whoever was.
and Dave Kaufman.
Yeah, Deb's without a mic right now, but I think everyone else does. So once she does the roll call, it'll be fine. Deb, you want to finish?
Everybody's good.
Okay, go ahead. That being said, we'd like to just have the disposition of the prior meeting minutes. I'd like to hear a motion to accept the minutes from the last meeting of June 17th of 2026.
I make a motion to accept the minutes.
A motion was made. Do I hear a second? We have a motion made and accepted. Is there any corrections that a board member would like to bring to our attention? Without that being said, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion passes. We do have, I'd like the board to also approve the minutes of a special meeting that we had on 6/18 of 2026 that had to do with human resources issues. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion.
A second. A motion made and a second. Is there any discussion or corrections to these minutes? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you very much. Mike, treasurer's report, please.
Everything looks good again for the last month. We ended up almost $9,000 to the good last month on the budget. I did look this morning. I usually try to get a snapshot of the end of the month stuff for last month. By the time we're here, that was not on the website yet this morning. I'm sure it's because it's the end of the year and it always takes a little bit longer. But I haven't seen anything during the month to make me feel bad. So everything from the finance situation looks real good. We're tracking along really nicely.
Are there any comments? We'll move on to the next item. Okay, I'm told I need to have this approved. Do I have a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
I make a motion to approve the treasurer's.
Second, anyone?
Second.
I have a motion and I have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We'll move on to the manager's report. Mr. Smith?
Good afternoon, everyone. Starting out with Nelson changed out the AC filters in the entire building. Richard repaired the rotten wood on the pool shower wall. Richard and Nelson assembled a new pickleball net for the tennis courts as the one of the old ones had rusted out and broke. We installed a new timer switch on the spa as the old one was sticking. Richard cleaned the coils on the geothermals. He has to disconnect the pipelines, hook another type of pipe up to it, fill it up with degreaser, let it soak, drain it back out, hook it back up. It cleans the coils on the geos. Mike painted the floor in the where the ice machine is after we had that installed. Nelson repaired the light in the parking lot by the picnic table. Richard pulled out the American flags and placed them in front of the community center for the 4th of July. Richard repaired broken irrigation at the RV lot. Once again, someone stole 7 plants from the La Madera entrance. Just can't keep nice things. On June 29th, Richard started installing new mulch in the community center. Both Richard and Nelson continue spreading mulch. So far, they have put out 20 yards of mulch. The second load of 20 yards has been delivered, and they've been working on that as well. On the 30th, I had to call in Amen Air to look at the large unit that runs the library, sewing room, and hallways as it was not running. Everything is up and running at this time. Nelson installed the lettering on the pool signs informing residents to shower prior to entering the pool or spa. Richard installed a new Hayward chemical pump on the pool as the old reader had failed. From what I understand from Mike, it was about 70 years old. It just wore out. Richard Nelson removed the dead shrubs at the exit of the east parking lot. On Tuesday the 7th, the power went out in the entire community center. When the power came back on, it took a while for the internet to come back on. The phones never came back on. We called Spectrum. They stated the phone service at their modem, and the problem was internal. On the night, Triapco came out to investigate the issue. We had to call another vendor to give us a quote to replace the wiring and phone systems. Spectrum Business does not do wiring, they just mail you new phones. We've got sign off and approval on the phone system on the agenda. This month I met with vendors for painting the wood shop, replumbing the pool pit, sealing the paver decks, and repairing the coping around the spa. In conclusion, we have multiple bids for each project. A pipe for the irrigation pump gave out. Nelson had to go get parts, put the pipe back together, repairs completed, irrigation is back online. Richard installed a new light fixture on the pole that Nelson had fixed the wiring on over there by the picnic table. On the night, I met with 2 insurance inspectors, which required me to show them the entire facility. This took a couple of hours to complete with a questionnaire. I know I talk a lot about what the guys do, but I do not mention Debbie or Darlene. As I'm sure you all are aware, without those 2, we would be in a world of trouble. They run the office efficiently and professionally. They handle all the day-to-day tasks and then some. They are both my right hand, and I could not do my job without them. Violations, closed 92 and did 55 new. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Jack. I just wanted to make the folks aware before Renee gets up to chat that today we have probably 29 or 30 people here, including the board. And we have 1,994 residences with approximately 4,000 people. And we have just a small number of people that get to hear what Jack is saying and the work that is done on our residents' behalf. So I asked Jack to ask Debbie to please include his manager's report in the Timber Times so that a broader audience, a lot of people read the Timber Times, and a broader audience of our residents will actually know what's happening and know all the things that we're getting done on their behalf. And I must say that it has enhanced the knowledge of the community of people. We also put it on our community board so that the online social media exposure even makes it more. So, Jack, thank you and your team for all the things that you do on our behalf. LeMay,
I have a question. I'm sorry, Lorraine Lightford, Rowanwood Drive.
could you turn your mic up, LeMay? I don't know if it's on.
It is now. Can you hear me?
Thank you.
Okay. I have a question on the vendors for painting the wood shop. Is there a reason why we're getting people in to paint the wood shop? We have our own people that usually do it.
Yes, but Jack, I could answer that unless you would like to take it. LeMay, what we did is that's 2 stories high in there. And it involves moving all of the equipment as well to be able to do it. It also involves the floor that we're going to do. And we're down to 2 people. We're down 1 person. Our head count was reduced in January. So it's like all hands on deck. And we felt that because of the height and the special equipment that it would need to get the ceiling and all the walls up on that 2nd floor, as well as bring it down and have a professional do the floor that would last a while, that it would be beneficial to have an outside contractor be able to take care of that for us. That was my reasoning. Jack, did I say that correctly on your behalf as well?
So they are also moving all the equipment as well? That's what the
Yes.
price will be?
Yes.
Okay. And sealing of the pool deck pavers, when was that decided? Because that was voted on before not to have it done after quite a bit of research. I don't remember it ever coming up at a board meeting, and now we're getting vendor prices for it?
Could we discuss that when we have that on the agenda today in May, and I welcome you to come back up and talk about it at that particular time. I was trying to get the manager's report and then go on to the architectural review committee next. Does any of the board members have any comments? Okay, without any, thank you so much, Jack, for that report. I'd like to call up the architectural review committee for their report, please. Russell, thank you, sir. Good to see you back on the committee again.
We met twice this past month, and we recommend approval of 15, and the board has to review 3.
All right, Russell, thank you. I'd like to have a motion to approve the recommended approval items on the architectural review committee report for July 15, 2026.
There's one of them on there I'd like to have some discussion about first.
Okay, well, let's get a motion and then we'll discuss it. Is that okay, Mike? Or is it,
Well,
do you think
if the motion is to approve all ones they've got on here, there's one that
okay, well, let's go ahead and look at it first. Go ahead.
It's the address is 1001080 Tier Lane. And it has to do with the deck. And I just want to say, I'm not opposed to the deck. It meets all the requirements. My problem is that this is another one that happened after the fact. And I know this is the second one I know of in the last 2 months where somebody's got the work just about done, and then they come in and fill out an emergency ARC request. And we got to get people somehow or another to stop doing that.
I agree. So with that being said, it is after the fact. How this happened, just for the people in the audience, somebody reported that there was a deck being built in the front yard. Came up to the office and reported it to Jack or called. Jack got in the golf cart, went right over there. Sure enough, they were building a deck out in the front yard. He asked them to assist and desist until they got down to the office and filled out a ACR. They came right down the way I understand it, Jack, correct me if I'm wrong. Filled it out, and we have a procedure in the art committee where a couple of people can look at it, if it's between meetings. And in this instance, they looked at the rules and regulations and felt that it should be approved. But the purpose and the reason that Mike is upset, and I am too, quite frankly, is that we do have this continuing issue of things being done before they submit a ACR. And, just a minute, Chris, and we want to somehow try to figure out a way that we can encourage people and make them aware that they have to, ask first anything on the outside other than landscaping that needs to be done. So, we have a motion, we have it seconded. You like?
Mr. President,
Yes, Rick.
I also like to discuss the one on tier. It's my understanding that that is a wood frame deck, and that recently, in the last few days, apparently they picked it up and moved it or next to the house, which brings up the safety issue. Normally, we do not have things in the front like that are wood, and I would want, for safety, and we have this in our rules about on sheds and stuff, for safety from hurricane. It's my belief after examining the photos that this piece could be lifted by a hurricane and thrown on the ground into the neighborhood into other houses. I did not see any foundations put down or anchors put into the ground, for that property. At this time, I would either like to either disapprove it or at least table it until it's inspected. I don't believe other people put pavers down and in the front there. And of course, there's not too many rocks that get picked up by a hurricane, or they have a cement pad. This wood is I think a first. And I do not want to see this as a precedent for others, because I'm afraid with the hurricane season upon us, and every year we have one, that's just an unsafe item. Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the board? Oh, I'm sorry, David, I didn't see you.
I have to agree with what Rick says about that, because we went over and looked at it, and they did move it closer to the house. It looks more like a porch now than a deck. That I also think that it should be somehow anchored down with a simple fact we have hurricanes. Yeah. And
All right, yes, sir, Mr. Dr. Gall.
I join in with that concern. As you say, it's not pavers, it's not a concrete patio of any kind. It's a loose wooden patio. I don't know about the permitting laws down in Florida as much as I remember in New York. You put up a wooden deck, you need a permit, and it has to be secured to the building and into the ground. And this has neither. So my two ways are asked whether to be disapproved or be tabled to find out if they're going to make it right.
Okay, does someone else have a comment? I wanted to say, I believe that they anchored it to the house, but that still doesn't solve the problem, because the wind could maybe pick that up and detach it from the house. And it didn't appear to me that they had any support structure, a 4x4 with concrete in the ground that it would go, be tied to, which normally decks are. So I feel the same way that you guys do too.
If the board would like, I can contact the owner and let them know that the structure needs to be anchored in some fashion to be compliant with safety regs.
Okay, well, what I'd like to do today is make this recommended approval of 14 items and not have 10800 Tier Lane in that, and we'll deal with that separately as we do the other ones that are questionable. Is that okay with the board?
Make the motion to accept the 14, that the architectural review committee has approval.
Your mic on?
You say that again, please.
I must have been dead batteries.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the 14
excluding 10800 tier, as reviewed by the architectural committee and approved by them.
Bill, you want to second that?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Is there any further discussion of the board? Without further, oh, you know what? Did you have a comment about these or later?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Could I interrupt just a moment and take Chris Dabrowski, go ahead, please.
First of all, it's in the rules of the ARC that if somebody does work without submitting a request, you can fine them. Why don't you start fining people?
Thank you for your input, Chris. Okay,
Wait a minute,
yes, sir.
I wasn't at that part of the meeting, but the gentleman on this came in and talked to Patrick.
Right.
I know he told him to do some specific things before he finished, but I wasn't there when that happened.
Okay.
You remember, June?
I wasn't there.
Weren't there? It was odd.
No, that was one of the meetings I missed.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that it would be prudent to go ahead and exclude that one until we get the questions answered. Is that your agreement also, Russell? Is that your agreement? I mean, you think we should exclude that one and then revisit it?
Right.
As we do the others? Okay, so I have a motion to, please amend your sheets here to say 14 at the top and then 4 for board review. And with that being said, I have a motion to do that. I have a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you so much for the input. I guess now we're going to move to the ones that we have to review individually. Russell, if you could stand by and answer any questions the board might have, I appreciate it. Let's talk about 11141 Rolling Wood, it looks like. We had a submittal for a left side of the rear lot fence. And that was recommended to not be approved. And the reason is that you can't have this on the side of the house. Is that correct, Rob? Yeah. The rules don't allow that? Okay. I'd like a motion to deny this based upon the rules.
I make a motion to disapprove and deny this architectural change request for 11141 Rolling Wood.
Second. Is there any further discussion of the board? Anyone?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Collins.
This lot is in Oakwood. It's not in San Clemente or Driftwood.
That is correct.
So if for no other reason, fencing is not allowed, the other fencing that may already exist may be grandfathered in. But this fence, location or otherwise, is not permitted in that village.
They are allowed a fence the rear of the property because it abuts a area that does not belong in roads.
Oh, okay, I wasn't aware of that.
Yes.
One little thing there.
Without any, Russ, did you have any comments you wanted to make on this? Without any further discussion, we have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, the motion passes. The next property is 10623 Mira Vista. This was a request to have a shed that was 36 by 60 by 77. That was disapproved because it goes against what the rules are. Is there any discussion on this that the board would like to make, or I'll take a motion to deny it?
I make a motion to deny this shed at 10623 Mira Vista Drive.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Does any of the board members have any comment that they'd like to make on this one? Without any further comment, no comments from the audience, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. The last one that we have here, well, no, not the last one, but another one, was at 10623 Mira Vista Drive. They wanted a fence in the backyard, and that was disapproved. because the fences aren't allowed in that area. When you look at the diagram of it, there was a grandfathered fence on one side and a grandfathered fence on the other side. The guy wanted to hook up, so his yard was fenced. And since these were grandfathered in and there's no further fencing allowed, it was turned down by the ARC, the Architectural Review Committee. So I'd like to have a motion to disposition of this.
Make a
I'll make a
motion.
motion to deny the fencing at 106 Riverside Drive.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further board discussion? None from the audience. I'll call the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So we have that. Then we have the last of the ones, which is the one that we talked about, that the porch, the floating porch out front. I'd like to have a motion to table this and let Jack get some further information as he said he would, and then he'll report back to the board. We can approve it later.
So moved.
Do I have a
Second.
second? I have a motion, I have a second. Is there any further board discussion on this matter?
I'd like to get Patrick's input on this also, because if the gentleman talked to Patrick at the ARC meeting, I'd like to make sure he gives the information that he heard at that meeting.
Okay, well, Jack will check with Patrick as he assesses this and get his input too, if that's all right, Jack. Yes, Russell?
Patrick's in New York.
Sir?
Patrick's in New York.
Right, but when he gets a phone, we can call him and find out what was said and, communicate with him so he can give us the input that he had. So we have a motion, we have a second to table this until Jack and Patrick get together with the homeowner and assess that he's affixed it in the proper manner so that it won't cause damage to adjacent properties. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Thank you so much, everyone. Russell, thank you so much for all the work you do. The next committee report is going to be by Hope Evans.
That
who
was
is here today
harmful.
representing the Live Oaks Committee. Hope, thank you for being here.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here on behalf of Beth Hudak, our president. I'm reporting on the June 30th, 2026 Live Oaks Board meeting. The board set September Live Oaks Social for September 1st, 2026. We added a welcome back event for September 12th, 2026, and details will follow. We finalized the 4th of July celebration to mark America's 250th birthday, and 240 tickets were sold for the event. Volunteers as of June 30th, 2026, 114 individuals with a total volunteering of 293. Attached to this report is the Live Oaks Treasurers Report for June 2026. This information is provided monthly at the Live Oaks social meetings and to the TOPSA office. Our next Live Oaks board meeting is July 28th, 2026. Respectfully submitted, Live Oaks board.
Thank you, Hope. Does any members of the board have any questions for Live Oaks? Again, as always, Hope, and I hope you'll pass this along to the committee. Everybody here is so grateful for all the hard work that you guys do, and we're grateful for that. And the next month, I know we've set a date, a provisional date for the honoring our volunteers, community volunteers, and that's going to be in January. And next month, I guess we'll get to appoint a committee of the board to handle that, and I'd like to continue on with that. And I think the consensus of the board is that this was a valuable exercise to honor the people who give so much to the community, and also to it fosters more volunteer effort, and that's what we were needing to increase the amount of people as well as the times people donate time for us. And you can see 114 for 293 people are doing 2, 3, 4 events as volunteers for us. And that's the purpose of what we're trying to get across. So thank you so much for your hard work. June, did you say you had something?
Yeah. How many of those 240 tickets were sold in the family section?
I believe it was between 25 and 30. Yes, they were very happy.
Thank you.
Dave?
They appreciated that too, because I know a few of them came to me and said they really enjoyed being involved in something. I think they had a good time.
Yeah, I had the same experience.
Are there any other board comments? Without that, absence, Hope, thank you so much for the report, appreciate it. The next one is the library report. Debbie Fermini had a doctor's appointment today, I believe, and she was unable to be here, but what she did was ask us if we would approve another new committee member whose name is Melody Picos. She lives in Fairway Village and she wants to be on the library team. We always take everybody that wants to donate to the community and are glad to have her efforts. So I would like to take a motion and a second from the board, if possible, to go ahead and approve Melody Picos as a new member of the library committee.
So moved.
So we have a motion, and we have, Rick, I'm going to make you the second on it. And does the board have any discussion? Without any further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you so much. The next one is the Fines and Suspension Committee report. Mr. Browski?
We met on the 14th. Linda cleared the property 10938 Salt Tree. They put up a deed restriction sign above their for sale sign finally. And Woodmont, 8726 Woodmont Lane. The homeowner was not present and nothing was fixed, so we recommended implementation of the fine.
All right.
That's it.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions from board members? Any comments from the visitors?
Can I give the finance while I'm here?
Let's see. Yes, might as well.
Okay,
Hey, before you get going though, Chris, I wanted to finish with this. I had one more comment, and that was for Bonnie Lipsky. Bonnie, thank you for coming in during the transition. Sue Muniak was appointed or chosen by the committee members as the new chair. Chris has agreed to be the note taker and catalog what the committee is doing. Chris, thank you for that as well. But to me, Bonnie coming in, she was the guest speaker this time to go over with the new members and the new chairman exactly how that committee works. And I think these transitions are really, really important, and I really applaud Bonnie Lipsky for her efforts and all of the volunteer efforts she's put in over a many number of years. So thank you, Bonnie. And then Chris, go ahead.
we met on June 29th. We had no issues. Mike asked us for suggestions for something to replace the bus service. And Tanya's supposed to get the county to-go bus information for us. and I suggested the ARC service. Mike did report that the $1,300 and some odd dollars was a refund from a homeowner that lives in a condo. He was paying taxa, the condo fee plus the taxa fee. That's why he got so much back. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, so much for your service to the community. I appreciate you. Are there any questions or concerns that the board members have? Without any further ado, let's go on to unfinished business.
Excuse me?
Oh, I'm sorry, did you? Oh, you know, I didn't have you on here. No, I do have the report now, sorry. I didn't have it in my folder, Patty. I'm so sorry about that. Patty Wisely.
Tricia French Wiseman, 7024. Mr. President, members of the board, you have in front of you the annual report from the Emergency Response Committee, otherwise known as Stormwater Control and Guidelines. This is a very detailed document about what happens every year. And it also explains who we have to talk to if things are going west here. And it talks about evacuation levels, category storms, and how we do it, and the extensive checklist that gets to be taken care of prior to storm season. And it's very important this gets done, and we go through the whole thing. And it also explains what happens when there's a threat, a warning, a storm watch, who gets to go out to the bocce court and pick up all of the waste baskets. And, you know, things go flying around out here. Also, the inventory is taken every year. We had a misfortune several years ago, and there were missing shutters. So that's why they have been moved to the clubhouse. And it has become very efficient. When they go up, when they come down, they are labeled, and there's so many packages for each one. Now, this particular report doesn't show, but in 25 and 26, those inventories were done, and actually in 26, it was done twice. And we just did it again on Monday. And probably the most important thing is when the storm is brewing, usually the chair of the committee is in contact with the manager, and then the committee will have an informal vote, and committee votes recommends to the manager that the manager recommends to the board what action should be taken. And that can be anything from just bringing in things and making sure there's no standing water anywhere, right up to and including shutting down the clubhouse. And the members of the committee have been given on a tour, and we have some senior members and we have some new members, so they have been oriented to what's going to happen.
Patty, I just wanted to again thank you. We've appointed Bill Evans to be the liaison with you on that committee. He met with Jack previous to the meeting, the first meeting that I attended, which was of the full committee, and Bill was at that meeting as well. And then after that meeting on Sunday this week, and I can't remember exactly what day it was, you guys got together again so that Bill could be familiar from a board level of exactly what was going on and how it works, since he's new too.
We had 2 meetings in less than a week.
Right, and I want to thank you because we need this kind of continuity and the knowledge from the board member and all of us to be made apprised of the work that you do and how it works. So I just want to thank you for your long-term commitment. And also we have new members, which also came to that, the ones that could make it to see how the inventory is done, where the stuff is stored, even though they don't actually put it up. I felt it was really important that we go through the exercise. And so I think we all know now you made your report to us here. And now we just have to hope for storm season that if we are inundated again, that we made all the preparations that were necessary. And this goes a long way towards improving. So thank you so much. And thank you, Bill, also the meetings you've attended.
Mr. President, I
Yes,
have
ma'am.
a couple more comments.
Please.
After much deliberation and regret, I have decided to render my resignation as Chair of the Emergency Response Committee. Due to changes in my family circumstances, I cannot at this time devote the time and attention to this and to what the committee deserves. I wish to remain on the committee, perhaps of council. I respectfully recommend that John Padgett, a former long-term chair of the committee, be appointed and be appointed chair. John was instrumental in getting the ponds done, and he knows it very well. And he would take my place. And I would like to wish the committee soft winds and low water. Thank you.
Betty, thank you so much for your great long-term commitment. I guess what we probably ought to do here is go ahead and ask John to chair the committee. If I have a motion for that.
I make a motion, first of all, to accept Patty's resignation as chair and her recommendation to appoint John as chair. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and we have it seconded. Is there any other person on the board that would like to make a comment? Without any further ado.
I think that John's last name.
Passion. Padgett.
Rick, he's the guy that's been the chair for, 100 years, as they say. Back when we really had problems before all of the golf course was dug out and made more room for water. And it was really a Herculean job sometimes. They had to go out there themselves in those days with their galoshes. This was the days when the clubhouse was still flooding and Benton Drive was underwater and all of that stuff. So those problems don't seem to exist in the extent that they did before, but it's still stormwater and emergency preparation. And so, John, I'm really grateful to you for stepping up and agreeing to do this. So we have a motion and we have it seconded. All those, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? Passes unanimously. John, thank you so much for stepping up again and getting us through that. The next, we're on to new business now. The next item is the unfinished business, but we're on to the cameras. Again, just a little bit of history before we get started with this. We had an incident where we had an invasion that vandalism was done on the pool and the signs and some of the walls out there. People climbing the fence. We couldn't tell who the heck they are, where they came from, or whatever, by what we had pretty much, especially at night, where you couldn't see them because we didn't have infrared cameras. When these were put in 15 years ago, the ones we have now, they were adequate for that time. It was the best that we could do, and we've gotten 15 years out of them. But technologies change. The amount of the ability of cameras to see at night are there at affordable level, and also the wiring has been upgraded so it can carry more data. When you have more megapixels on the camera, you need more data. So with that being said as the background, I'd like to have a motion from the floor for approval of a camera vendor.
I'll make a motion to approve Interphone as our camera vendor. They include the electrical. The dollar amount is $28,457.25, 34 cameras.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Here's where we get to the discussion, everybody. Anybody have any? I'd like to explain to people, if I could, since the other board members didn't, that we did get 3 quotes, actually 4 quotes, excuse me. And we looked at it very, very closely. We've interviewed the others previously. We had a quote from Triadco. That amount, including the, doing the parking lot and covering the bocce and the tennis courts, was for $22,735, and then we had to add 5,200 onto it for the cameras out there, and so that made it go to 27,962. But that did not include the pole or the electric to the pole. So you can jot that down, 27,962, but it would be plus. The next one we looked at was Masada Security. These were the same. This gave us the presentation. Those of you that were here for the meeting when we did that, I think it was back in January or February, if I'm not mistaken. They gave them a nice presentation, and their quote was for the total of all of the work, both at the courts, in the bocce side parking lot, as well as the interior here, and then this side, totally was $31,094.20. We did get another quote from Touchstone. They did come and give us a presentation as well. This was probably the most beautiful color brochure that you could ever have as far as a quote. But when we looked at it and looked at the total amount due, it was 46, save Jack for me.
46,440.
$46,440. And then the last quote, which is the one that June has asked to, that made a motion and it was seconded on, was from Interphone Systems. They also do security cameras. And their quote was for $25,075.30.
Revised.
26,052 plus the 2,432 for electrical work.
So the total is 28,457.25. Thank you so much for alerting me to that. So I'll open it to any discussion from board members. Anyone in the audience want to? Anybody in the audience want to talk about this? With no further discussion, we have a motion, we have a seconded to accept the Interphone quote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you so much. I did want to, before we moved on, to say that Donna Mosier, who was our vice president when this incident happened, was someone who was very instrumental in helping us to get this process started. We thought before she left in April, because she was terminated out, that we would be able to have this done. And so I would be remiss in not thanking her and letting all of you know that we haven't forgotten the work that she did initially to get this started. And I'd like to publicly thank Donna Mosier for her work in bringing this to our attention and spearheading it to start with. So thank you, Donna. The next item on the unfinished business is the pool replumbing. And I think we discussed this at the last meeting, if I'm not mistaken, but I'll go over it again. We had a presentation for Big Splash Pools. We were having to use a lot of chlorine that we didn't know that we were using previously. And when we looked into the matter of why we were using it, we found out that when we had the salt generating system put in, they were put in series as opposed to manifolded separately. So when it comes to the first one, it was saying, oh, we got enough salt, and then it goes through, and then the second one said, oh, you got salt already, we don't need it, and through the third one as well. And what that did is it did not give us the right amount of, it wasn't producing enough chlorine gas to keep it working. So we were having to, it wasn't producing the chlorine gas. So we were having to add liquid chlorine for it. And we put this in to get away from that. There's a lot of benefits to our skin, our clothes that we wear in the pool and that sort of thing to not have it. And it was just when Pool Medic put it in, they didn't put it in right. And so we've had it all since it was put in incorrectly working. And that's why it had to be corrected because we were, the guy doing the pool was putting in an unimportant amount of chlorine, and it was going against the benefits that we were trying to attain by having the saltwater generators. So without that being said, we had them in for a proposal. They asked to, they gave us some quotes. We got multiple quotes on the deal. Big Splash Pools was the one that we settled on, and we did that as a action without meeting in the office. For those of you that don't understand action without meeting, what it means is sometimes things come up that we need to act on, and we can do that, but it has to be unanimous. If one director said no, it would have had to come back, wait again for a while before we could send it out to bid and that sort of thing. So unanimously, the board agreed that this was the best quote. We agreed to go ahead and approve it. And our requirement after that is that we have to bring it to you, our residents, and inform you in an open board meeting what we did and approve it again. So that's the process that we're going through, and I wanted you all to understand if there's somebody here that didn't. So without further ado, I'll take a motion to, on this matter to approve it. So moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Excuse me?
27,905.
I'm sorry, I thought I read that now. My bad. Yeah, it was at the last month's meeting, and we had an open, discussion of the item and that sort of thing. Without any further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And anyone has a no, it passed unanimously. Thank you so much. The next item is another one of those action without meaning. This particular one was about the wood shop painting, and I know Lene, you wanted to say something about it, or if we already answered your question. Okay. We did get 3 quotes. Looked at them carefully. We also had Dave Culler look at them as well. As many of you know, he does that for his business, and because of the difficulty, as I said before, getting up so high, the danger of it for our employees, we'd have to rent equipment so that they could get up that high and be able to do the work, and then that would take them away from the work that we're trying to get done around here. And that's why we chose to go with a subcontractor. So I would like to take a motion to accept this bid. So moved. Second, we'll give you a second, Rick, since you both chimed in at the same time Mike did. And I thought as a board discussion, I'll recognize David Tucker.
In case you're wondering how high it is, it's the same height as this room here, it's just out there. I never knew it was that high until we went over and looked at it. But it's the same height as this, so that's why we decided not to go our own maintenance man, because of the less we'd have to run it. Everything was reasonable. This was the most reasonable price that we thought.
The cost, excuse me,
The
is
quote is $3,200.
Just keep in mind, the paint for the floor, especially paint,
use your mic, sir. I can hear you, Jack,
they
please.
should be able to hear my big mouth.
No, they can though.
Just keep in mind, the paint for the floor alone is $100 a gallon. And they're probably gonna need at least 5 gallons to do that. There's $500 right there just in the material. So
Plus
this
it
price is
involves,
good.
plus it involved moving the equipment too, so that we got the code all over the place. It's, I thought it was a reasonable price. I ran it by Dave, who I know he's experienced with it. And, I don't think he could have done it for that, with all the other work done. He had to get a couple of people to help him and be qualified to use the lift. Lemay, you have some further comments?
I'm wondering why we're doing this. Where are we on? I know we're not allowed to talk about the lawsuit, but apparently we're going to fix up the wood shop, but we have no idea what's going on there. Is
Okay.
there a reason?
I'll be happy to address that with the board's permission. LeMay, we went through mediation. We came to an impasse because we couldn't agree on anything. And, once the impasse was met, they had 90 days, that they had to not do anything, a waiting period, before they could do anything further, as there was never a suit filed. It was a mediation. And as far as we know at this time, we don't have a lawsuit. They asked to have a meeting with us, and Mr. Gall and myself met with the two principals and had a nice conversation about the history. They wanted to explain the history of it to us and how it got to be where we are today. And I think today we had a special meeting where we discussed what Mr. Gall and I learned from that meeting with the other board members. And then we told them that we would get back with them. And when we had the meeting within 10 days, I knew the board meeting and this meeting was going to take place. And then we would be able, once we had a consensus of what was going to go on with the board and how we reported back to them about our meeting, that we would get back with them and talk with them about how we can move forward. And so we have not had that meeting yet because we just had the meeting of the full board today. So we're going to get back with them and discuss where we go from here. I want to say though that the reason that we went ahead and did it might be obvious because we want to move forward with this. I think during Jerry Pearson, he was president, and then when you and Bill were president and vice president, people were not doing anything because we didn't want to, antagonize them or have them cause, issues and that sort of thing. So there was a reticence on the part of the boards, because I see it, and correct me if I'm wrong when I finish, that we didn't want to do anything that way. And so, knowing that the mediation is over, and some additional information has come up, which I'd like to save until I have a chance to discuss it with them, we feel like we're going to make up that, get the deferred maintenance that hasn't been done on that. If anybody wants to go look at it, the file doesn't work right now because we're starting to paint tomorrow. So it's been turned off for a couple of weeks. It was cleaned by the users themselves, by the residents. They did a wonderful job. We've kept it closed so we didn't have to do that again before we painted. But there was a lot of deferred maintenance that needed to be done, and that's what we're doing now. And then we haven't scheduled a meeting yet, but we're going to get back together with them again and review with them the decisions that we've come to and see if they agree. At that point, I'll be happy to come back and explain to everybody where we stand and whether we were successful in moving forward with this.
Are the 90 days expired? Has
Yes,
that,
yes.
that has gone through?
Yes.
We didn't just ignore what they were doing when I was on the board. We refused to hear it.
I didn't say that I wasn't
No,
carrying.
I know that, but I'm
anybody's
just
action.
saying that is the reason nothing was done. And it seems like as soon as we were off the board, then they started again. I don't think anyone in this room, unless there's someone of the three that use that wood shop, is happy about the legal costs and everything else that they have put us through. So I would keep that in mind when you talk to them. And I hope that it is then brought in front of us so that we have a chance to express our opinions. Thank you.
LeMay,
Yes.
I just wanted to say to you that I think the way you feel is the way we all feel. I don't mean to speak for everybody else,
Right.
but we feel the same way you do, and I can assure you that we're trying everything we can to end it. But to characterize it that it was over when you left office, the first week that I got here, that was an issue, and I've been on the board now 15, 16 months. And this has been a constant issue for all of us who have attended numerous meetings in this regard. And we are working it the best we possibly can to bring this to an end and have certainty on the future.
I never meant that it was over when we were done. I knew they would continue to push, so, no, it was not over.
Okay, thank you so much, Renee, for your comments. I appreciate it. Does anyone else have a copy or have a need to comment on the paint job? Without any further ado, I'd like to have a motion and a second, or do I already have it? I already have it. Does any board members have any further discussion? Without any further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you so much, everybody, and thank you, Renee, for the comments. The next thing is new business. And we have an issue with the spot coping, and it needs to be addressed. So we had got some quotes on that. I'd like a motion to approve the quotes, please.
Okay,
They're nice quotes.
they are. Let's talk about them.
Yeah.
We have
Well, I
how
thought
many
we were-
quotes?
I thought I had four.
I have four quotes.
We have 4 quotes.
Yeah, we do have 4 quotes. And they run all over the place. But you know, if anybody would like to discuss it, I'd be more than June, you have some opinions on this one, as you go ahead and start this out.
Well, my first opinion is that we have 2 quotes that are pretty close together. However, I'm thinking that the B-Splash Pools quote has the best money for our bang for our buck, so to say. That quote is $5,122. The quote for $4,000 from American Made Renovations, I have some reservations about some of their wording in the quote. I don't think that it gives us everything that we want, because they said if they come up with a certain situation, that it's gonna cost us a lot more, where BP Splash Pool says that that would only be $28.50 a linear foot if we had.
That's for the tile. That's not for repair.
I understand that, but this guy doesn't say that. He doesn't tell us how much it is. He says we have to buy the tile ourselves. And we have no price on it, no range. So I don't feel without having that information, that he's got the best quote.
That's why you guys get the big bucks.
I'm under the impression, you might be able to help us on this. We have some of those tiles left over from the,
We have tile there, I'm just not sure.
I thought we had some left over from when they did the deck in the first place. So if they did need tile, I think we can maybe have enough to help them fix it.
We'll have to look through the shed, see what we got.
Yes, Mr. Cole.
The tiles are one issue, but it's just like any renovation work to your home. Contractor comes in, he looks at the job, says, this is what it's gonna cost. And then he starts taking down the drywall and he finds that there's more damage underneath that needs fixing. That's what they're saying here. Both of them are saying. American Made is just the language they use. One says the damage, assess the condition of the spa beam. The damage, additional charges may be incurred. Okay, just like any renovation project. Big Splash, they say this estimate does not include any structural repair to a spa. Same thing. The only difference is they include damage if there's any damage to the tiles. That has to be, remediated. I'm sure the same would be true with American Made. So I think the jobs descriptions are the same. And for that reason, my vote would be to go with the American Made renovation.
Excuse me? Okay, the thing about it is there any further discussion on it?
President,
And Rick,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to abstain, my packet has never arrived, so I do not know the details, so I'm going to abstain from this discussion.
All right. I'd like to add something after that, and this quote from American Made Renovations was just, it said $4,000, and that's about all it said. It didn't list any of the items separately like Big Splash Pools did. Their quote is like $1,100 more, but they listed everything individually. This thing here, as June pointed out for me, she's had a lot of experience working contracts and government contracts, is a recipe for change order after change order after change order. They don't list any individual items in here that they're gonna do, the cost of the individual items. So at any time, they could say, well, we were only gonna do this. And we say, well, wait a minute, you said $4,000. Say, well, that's not included. That's not included. And before long, we'd be up to where this guy is at least, and if not more. And so we felt that, but I feel also the way June does is that, to me, this is a more realistic and controllable quote than the other is. Are there any other questions? LeMay?
When you give these quotes, would you mind telling us what the job entails, what they are doing? I mean, it's not just a coping repair, there's other things apparently that are being done. When we don't get prices, you're just saying, this is what we got. We don't know what for.
They're going to be removing the entire coping on the pool because we already have some separating. And then if you tap around the coping on the top of it.
Are you talking about the spa?
Yeah.
Pool? Okay.
Yeah, the spa, it's hollow.
Right.
The whole thing is loose.
Right.
So they're gonna remove all that coping off the top and re-adhere it properly and put it back in place.
So not the sidewalls, just that top layer around, hopefully. You don't know what's under there.
Right, there could be issues underneath that need repair.
Okay.
Both of these quotes make mention of that.
So are there broken tiles now, or are you talking about if the tiles are broken as they're repairing?
Right, he was warning us that when they, it's all glued together, cemented together, when they remove the coping, there's a chance that the tiles will break. And he was just making us aware that that would be something and that was not included, as opposed to the other quote that doesn't say anything except they're going to replace it, furnish new coping, either flagstone, cream, beige, or charcoal. I understand that there's all three of those colors in there. And that he says you can start building the spa, but it's the owner's responsibility. That's the entire quote.
Okay, and besides that quote, they're all saying if there is damage underneath, they're not responsible for that.
Yeah, because
That's
that's,
reasonable.
There's
Yeah.
an additional charge.
Right.
yeah, it's there underneath there. There's like I'm trying to get.
I'm sure there's a framing and
It's called a
something to
beam.
hold it.
Yes, they call it a certain thing here. I'm
beam.
trying to look at it. Say it again.
A
A
beam.
beam, the spa beam.
Okay.
And so we don't know until we take it off, but what that's going to do. But we just wanted to be sure that we knew everything that was involved and the cost of each of those without having to be able to have them come back and say, oh, that's not included. And this guy says this is included. The only things he has excluded is the item that we talked about.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have a motion.
No, we don't. I just started talking about the quotes.
Okay, so I'll take a motion from the floor then.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept, what's the name of this? Big Splash Pools, quote for $5,122 to give the spa coat.
Do you have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have just a minute. We have a motion, we have a seconded. Dennis, if you'd like to make some
Well, having listened to all that's transpired about the spa and the coping of it, and details of the quotes, I think I've pretty much reassessed my position. And you'll see that in the vote.
Thank you so much. Is there any other comments, any comments from the audience? We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We have a unanimous, Rick, did you vote?
He abstained.
Okay. Oh, he abstained, I'm sorry. So that's a done deal there. The next one is, is some pool deck. I think you had a question about that as well. We had a pool deck ceiling. Jack got out and got some quotes for the ceiling of the pool. And I think we had 5 or 6 of them. Hold on, get my list here.
I believe it's four.
We have, yes, 4. I just did. We had a big splash pool for $17,600. We had brick paver savers for $6,850. We had Ricky Watchy stone yard for $6,700, and we had Keys Professional for $12,817. What I would like to have is a motion from the board on these. Give us just a second, we don't have all of the things there. In any event, the 17,600 and the $12,831 was so far off, they're almost double what the other 2 quotes are. So basically, we considered those 2 quotes. And the same judgment that I had on this was when we looked at the quotes, there was one that was far above, more detailed. They actually came out and did a really good site survey, taking into consideration all of the things that we had to do. One of the items, for instance, that they brought to our attention that none of the others did, is that we went to buying metal stands for our umbrellas at the tables. And those metal stands are leaching rust onto the patio deck as well, which is going to have to be remediated with this job before it can be coated. They had the most professional quotation. They talked about the scope of the work. They had a multi-step process. They were the only ones to say that when they cleaned it, did an acid cleaning of it, which will restore the color to it, which will get all of the contaminants out of it. They also have, they clean the cracks between of all the debris that has built up over the years. Then they put sand in it. Instead of just sanding it and then spraying it, these people actually come in after they've sanded it and vibrate it in, so that sand is going to go all the way down to the lower part of the brick and then come up to the top, and they will clean it up to where the stones actually bevel like this. So it'll be a good clean thing. It gets rid of all of the, like I said, chemical standard, the hydro scrub, and do a surface decontamination, the structural resanding, which is what I just did. As for the pavers only, will be done. And then a premium protective sealant, not 1 coat, but 2 coats. And there are 2 different coats. The first coat, what it does is it sinks down into the pavers themselves, and also it sinks down into the sand, which stabilizes it so that when the wind blows or our guys clean the pool, use the blower to get leaves and things, they're not blowing the sand that protects the things. It actually holds it in place. And then they use the second coat, which is a premium protective sealant, and it builds a resilient top protective wear area. If you guys noticed as you walk away today from the meeting, go out to the pool and look at the entrances where, we go by the men's room and the women's room where you go into the pool, and you'll see that is all stained where where people get in and out of the pool. I didn't notice it till yesterday that it was as bad as it was, but it is. And in the quote that we got for the cameras, when they took the picture of it, you could actually see from the air these discolored areas. So that will be remediated, and I think that they really had a professional approach to it. And if anyone else has any other things that they would like to say about these quotes, I take it now.
I assume you're talking about professional pavers and concrete restoration, their proposal?
This is a proposal, but the name of the company is Weird Pavers.
Okay. The only thing that I didn't see in here that I was looking for is, I noticed in a couple of the other ones, they used, something called shark skin. It was a non-skid that went in the top coat, and I didn't see that in this one's scope of work. I didn't see the non-skid part of it, which was the only thing that hopefully I just missed it. But I saw it in two of the other three.
You know, I thought I saw that in here too, but I just can't lay my hand on it right now.
Not in this one.
But I think that that's an important thing. We could always, second quote, I'm almost sure, just a moment, please. We could check on that though and see that that's added in, I think, Michael, too.
I would hope so. My only other question was, how long is the pool area going to need to be closed when we tackle a job like this? Because I see they're saying, vehicular loads after 72 hours.
Well, the way I understand it, and Jack, you might have some comment on this too, but the way I understand it, Mike, is that they have to do the cleaning of the pavers and then let it dry. Then they do the sanding and vibrate it and let that dry. And then they come back, they do both of the coats in the same day. And then that has to, for foot traffic, it has to go for 24 hours. We don't have vehicles going on there, so that wouldn't involve it. And so I expect the pool, to be on the safe side, I would say that it's probably going to be closed 3 days for this process. Does that sound what you understand too, Jack?
Yes, it's 24 hours for the drying process.
Does that answer your question, Mike? Yes, sir, Mr. Tully.
One thing I liked about this one, they give us a 3-year warranty and 1 year warranty on the workmanship. So I think out of all of them, that's one of the better ones. I know they're a little more money, but I think it's all worth it.
Well, the difference in price of those, now that you mentioned it, was, so the audience knows they don't have it in front of them.
$150.
$150. I just like the idea of the vibration, the completeness of his approach, and it shows the professionalism, which I hope you'll bring to the job. LeMay?
I wanted to know, did anyone ask how often this has to be done? I think that was one of the reasons why we kind of didn't want anything done, although right now the condition of that out there is terrible, so. They were saying, once you get it done, you have to get it done so many years, or, I mean, they're giving you a 3-year warranty. And the second time, I would think they wouldn't have to do as much, or would they do more? I don't know. I'm just wondering how often this should be done then.
I can only answer, I just had pavers put on my driveway and kind of around where the garbage cans and the air conditioner is, so my wife, when she walks the dog, can have a way to walk out without getting her feet wet. And we had that done last January, I believe, December or January. And the guy put a light coat on it to start with. It started fading and the sand was coming out. So we hired somebody to come in just while we were away in June. And we did it while we were away because it's for our driveway. We'd have had to not park on it for like 4 or 5 days. And so we had him do that while he was gone. he recommended that we have it done every 3 years from now. And, I don't know, I think a lot of it would be how the condition lasts, for the high usage that we have in that area. So I think it would be more, I mean, we have a 3-year warranty, so I feel pretty comfortable that, for 3 years anyway, we're good. And if we're not, we can always call them. The only thing that they said about the warranty is that if we, scratch it due to pulling furniture around or, things of that nature, heavy equipment, that it wouldn't cover that, but, it would cover the normal wear and tear. And they also said that they would come back if, that's a big surface out there. If the wind came up while they were doing the application, and then when it dried, it didn't look like it was covered well enough that they would come back and recoat those for us. So, does that answer your questions?
Yes, and how often? Was there anything said about the heat? I know another time someone on the board said it should help with the heat coming off of those pavers.
But that is a real problem with those pavers, because I've experienced it myself. I mean, you have to wear your flip-flops around there, or you'll burn your feet on a sunny day.
Yeah.
I don't know that would have much to do with it, but it does seal the heat somehow. I read in here, but I don't know that would be something that would probably do much for it.
Okay, and did they give you a date on how soon they would be able to do this?
Jack, did you get a feel for the date that they would be able to come and do this?
No, I did not get that.
I don't know. I don't see many of you at the pool. I do know that it's pretty well empty and will be until we get any of the snowbirds back. So I think as soon as you can get it done would be the best, because there are times when Scott and I are the only two in the pool, or no one is in the pool. So I would suggest that you push for that, and
Yes, ma'am.
hopefully that works.
We're trying to get, we've got the bocce court get started this morning, and that's why we're trying to get all these done so that we can do it before September, when the folks start coming back, and we have all that work done, so the amenities will be fully available to everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Ellen?
Ellen Baldwin, 10602 Springwood. I'm okay with what y'all are talking about, but the idea of telling the residents 3 days of closure, I don't think that's realistic. What about when it rains? If something happens that it would make the time take longer. It's easier to surprise people and say, it's open now, 3 days early, than saying, oh, we gotta be closed 3 more days.
Well, that's a really concern, and I'm glad you brought it up, and that'll inform us that, as we announce the closing, you can always have rain delays, but we're trying to go for set a schedule and then try to live by it. But, acts of God like rain and storms, there's nothing that we can do, and there always is a possibility that would happen.
And there's other delays that could happen, maybe not all their crew showed up, things like that, that would prolong it. I worked for the military contract.
Yes.
And there were so many, you had to do so many rewrites because people didn't think about the delays that happened with construction.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's better safe than sorry. I would, as a person, as a resident, I would rather hear, like when June put out, the pool is open, it's up to temperature. That was great to hear, even though I don't really use the pool, but as a resident, that sounds good to hear something happened quicker than they thought, than to say, oh, 2 more days have to be added on because,
Okay, well, what I'd like to do then, and alert Jack, maybe you can make a note of this, that when we do get a date, we will get an exact number of days that they expect it to be closed. And we'll certainly give people pre-notice about that so that they know that it's coming and can plan their exercises and therapies around that. And we'll try the best we can to make sure that the contractor knows how important it is to do this job in a time that he's established.
okay, and I also agree with LeMay about see if there is something that can be added to make the the walking a lot easier for people because of the tiles weren't hot before you got these pavers. The other pavers were not hot like these are.
Right.
So there has to be something that can be done to not have it get so much heat that's built up in it. Because,
But they have cool papers, but we didn't do that.
yeah,
You know, I mean, just, those are the oversights that happen to all of us in all of these projects.
yeah, I understand.
I hope it'll be a little bit better with that coat on it, and, we'll get, the grit, on that last coat. You make a note of that and check with them. I think that's an excellent job, because we don't want people slipping around out there on a slick surface. So, thank you, Ellen, for your
All right, thank you.
comments. John?
Just a brief comment, you just addressed what I was going to bring up on the non-slip, because the previous papers we put down years ago, they double coated it, and the second coat was so slippery that we had one resident, the first day broke a leg, and they had to sandblast the whole thing off. That's why the papers lasted long. Anyway, the non-slip portion is extremely important for the pool there.
I think we all agree with you on that. Thank you for your comment, John. Any other board members have a comment? We have a motion, do we? Or do we discuss it? I'll take a motion.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the bid from Brick Paver Savers in the amount of $6,850, with added note about the slip resistant particles in the top coat, to have our pavers sealed and top coated.
Could I ask you to add to that they have a set schedule that we, as I bet, discussed as far as answers to Ellen's concern too.
Yeah, and get a set schedule from them on when the work can start and when it should commence or finish.
I'll second on the condition that we also look into making sure that one of the coatings is heat resistant, so it doesn't have hot feet.
I don't know if there's such a thing or not.
Well, we can look into it.
All right, Ellen,
I'm here again.
that's okay.
Okay, so maybe it could all be done at the same time that the coping is being done with the pools only because the one set time.
The thing about it is when they're doing this, the coping, that's gonna produce debris, dust,
Well,
waste, and they won't be able to clean that area and coat it. Is the only thing I see that we might wanna do the coping first and then do the pool deck, after that. But Jack, I think the point that Renee made of getting this done before September, if we can, when all of our winter residents return, is a salient point. I think we ought to try to live by that.
Got all the notes right here.
Yes, sir. So we have do we want to do another motion here to include all the things, please? Would you withdraw your original motion?
My original motion is withdrawn.
Okay, you want to make another one?
No.
Come on. Okay, so are you gonna make the motion?
Okay, I will make a motion to accept the Brick Paver Savers quote of $6,850 on the condition that we investigate the grit for non-slip and also find out if the UV that they're quoting in here also helps keep the heat down on the pavers.
Okay, do I have a second?
A second.
Okay, we have a motion and we have it seconded. Any further discussion?
Mr. President,
Yes, sir, I'll recognize you, Mr. Adler.
I don't know what I'm looking for because I presume if we take that motion as what we presented, that if it doesn't have those heat savers and items on it, then we do not order, then we have not accepted that bid, and we've got to go to another meeting.
Okay, that's the way I
That's the
feel.
way
too.
this whole thing went over.
Yeah, I agree. So June,
Withdraw my motion.
Okay, come on, make one more, somebody.
I think we should table it.
The thing, no, I don't want to table it because we need this done before the thing, we can't delay it another month. And this is a good quote from a good company, and let's see it through.
All right, I'll make a motion that we accept the bid from Brick Paver Savers for the amount of $6,850 to recoat the spot.
Actually, we already did that, we're on. We're like there.
I'm sorry, to do the text ceiling, sorry.
I think that's a pretty clean motion. Jack, you know what we're trying to get across here. And, I'm sure that we can do the non-slip thing. That's just a regular part of it. I don't know though, June, whether there's a product that actually does that. But Jack will check it, and if it is, we can enjoy it. Rick, go ahead.
I was going to suggest we pass the basic motion and that we have Jack look into those items, that they sound good. And if they're available, we could have, as we just did, an emergency vote to add on to that other, on to this motion, or add on to the contract, the super cool or whatever they were.
Deb, could you restate?
And all that. Okay. I mean, I think we can do it that way.
Okay,
We'll
Rick.
get the basic one done, and then, if those others are available, Jack can just circulate among us and we can sign off.
Okay.
And approve in addition to it.
Okay, thanks for the input, Rick. Deb, could you read the motion as we have it right now?
I need a second first to Dennis's motion of just contracting with Brick Paver Savers in the amount of $6,850 to do the sealing of the pool pavers.
Okay, so you're saying we need a second, right?
I need a second
I'll
on his
second.
motion.
Okay, Bill seconded it. Is there any further discussion from the board? Is there any people that out here that would like to comment? Without any further ado, I'll call the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you all for your input. Really appreciate it. The next, our next thing that we have to do is approve the audit and tax returns. Just for people who may be new and don't understand or haven't heard it before, we're required by law every year to have an audit and to fill out a tax return based upon the size of the community that we have. And so therefore, this is actually two different things. We're going to approve the audit itself and the tax return quote. I did want to, before we open it for discussion, I just wanted to give a little bit of history and context. This company we hired last year, Rick Agler last year, and Mike, I think, and our president at the time, Sue Muniak, felt like we had had the same audit company for many, many years, and we thought it might be good to have somebody else look at the finances. In other words, have the accountant check on the account. And I checked with Jack before this meeting to see how Affinity CPAs did for us last year, and he said that they were professional, on time, and did excellent work. So I thought, we'd go ahead and go with the same one this year. Basically, all the prices are the same with these companies anyway, but so that you know out there, the quote for the audit itself is $4,750. And then they will prepare a separate one is preparation of the tax return that's required that goes along with this as well. So it's two different motions. I'd like the first motion from the board to accept the quote to approve the audit.
I make a motion to approve the quote from Affinity for the audit.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and it's seconded. Is there any board discussion? Anyone from the audience like to say something? Without further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No opposition. The motion passes. We'll move on to the second part of this, which is the preparation of the Form 1120H tax return for $250 by Affinity CPA. Any discussions? Or excuse me, okay, we have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Any board conversations, Anybody in the audience know? Yes, David?
It's gonna, how much it's gonna cost?
$250.
I just paid right now. $250.
Okay, Rick has told me when I talked to him about this and got his feedback, that this was really a great fee, and it's probably because we're having both things done with them at the same time. So, without any further discussion, I'll call the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous decision. Thank you so much, and thank you all for your input. The next item is the woodshop rules. And Dave Teller, I'd like to ask you to comment on this since this was an initiative on your part, and I think a really good one.
Well, a lot of people don't realize that the wood shop was a real mess, and we made them clean it up because they didn't take care of the wood shop the way it should take care of over a period of years. So I made a waiver that we were gonna have to sign to get permission to go back in there, mainly just to tell them that if you make a mess, you clean it up, you take your stuff home with you when you leave, you don't leave things behind like dirty rags and paints. You can't have that stuff in there. That's mainly what's going down, and Dennis and I are going to get together on Friday. And we're gonna discuss more about this, make sure it's legally done right, but everybody's gonna sign this along with the waiver that tells you about we're not responsible if you get hurt inside the woodworking shop. It's just another little waiver that we think that this will help keep the place neat and clean.
Any other comments? Did you say something? I'd also like to add that what we're trying to bring into this forum is the idea that you have to wear safety equipment and that you're responsible if you injure yourself. And so there's some legal ramifications, and that's why I asked Dennis Gall, who is a former attorney, and I also asked a couple other members of the board to actually put this together, Dave Teller and also June Michael, to work as a committee of the board to actually give us, what we want the people to sign. And we have the toggle turned off now. And when we get when we've cleaned it, we're going to refurbish it as far as the painting and do the floor, fix the door that was delayed maintenance as well. The lock needed to be replaced because it's really hard to get in and out of. So we're going to do the deferred maintenance that rightfully nobody was doing because we didn't know, really what to do and didn't want to do something that would be injurious to our position. So now's the time. The 90-day period is over. We're moving forward. And so once the painting's done, we're going to work really quickly to try to get these papers up. And then everyone that is certified to go into the wood shop will have to come back in and sign this new paper so that the association is protected. To keep it clean, to have some responsibility of the tenant, of the residents, and to accept the liability if they are to get injured and hurt in there so that we don't get sued. And we want to make sure that this is legally enforceable. And so that is our plan. We're going to approve this document as a unanimous consent, and then we will bring the copies of those to the membership on the next meeting. But we wanted to have that ready because people have approached me already that use the wood shop. One of them's here today looking at me right now. And I promised her that we were going to get this opened as quickly as possible, and we are, because it's an amenity that some people do enjoy and take advantage of. So, but we want people to be safe, and we want to protect ourselves against a liability. And so that's what we're trying to do. Does anybody else have any comments? Okay, LeMay?
Can you tell me, is the camera still in there? I know they requested it be removed. It is there.
Yes.
Thank you.
Without any further questions or comments from the board, I would like to have a motion to appoint a committee of the board led by Dennis Gall and assisted with Dave Toller and June Michael to revamp this form and bring it back to the board for approval. So, do I have a second?
Second.
Any further comments? All those in favor say aye. All opposed? Thank you so much for all the comments and your approvals. The next item on the agenda is a discussion of the review of storage shed sizes. Dave Toller asked to have this put on the agenda, so I'll let him lead the discussion.
Okay, as we all know, we have a certain size we're allowed to have on our houses, and I think it's kind of small. I think we should be able to get more in than a shovel and a broom. So my proposal is to go with a 4x6 shed that I've looked at 2 different places. They have them at Sam's. I looked at Home Depot. I did not check Lowe's, but they're nice. They're not much bigger than what we had. Just a little bit bigger, but it's big enough that if you want to put some outdoor furniture in, maybe a push lawnmower, put the handle out, maybe your generator, maybe something like that you got in the garage that you like to at least take out of there and get it someplace outside. Make it easier when you're working outside. Maybe when you're having a picnic, you can have chairs, folding chairs in there. You can't really do it with the shed we have now. You can't put folding chairs or even stackable chairs or anything in there. I think by going this size, I think it's more realistic that we go with a bigger shed.
Okay, is there, anybody want to make a motion that first of all, we have a process that we have to go through, which involves us posting the meeting. If we make any changes, we've got to notify all the people in the community that the changes have been made. And we just went through this process not 6 or 8 months ago, where everyone was notified. We had a committee of the board that studied these issues. We did, Dennis Dahl was on that committee as well. I did, I was there as well. It was chaired by our former vice president, who did a great job. We had the person that headed the art committee at the time, Tanya Minkley, was a part of it. And someone else was, and I can't think who it was. But in any event, we went over all of the issues. We went this thing line by line by line. When we came back to the group here and reported to them the changes that we were going to make, we went over it sentence by sentence by sentence, and it was approved, I think 6 or 7 months ago, I think. And I feel like that this is something that the folks of Dave was here. Then he attended almost every meeting of the board when these things were discussed. And I feel like for the cost that's involved in getting this approved, we have to send out notices and all that stuff, that I feel like we should wait a while so that we can do other things at the same time, since this was such a short time ago. Furthermore, well, leave it at that. I don't want to see the association go through the expense of it. And I know Rick, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm kind of, not the villain, but the individual that's said that usually when we do things like this, we bunch them up and we do it during our annual membership meeting, because it saves us, we put the notice out at the same time with it. It saves us money, and maybe you can do it now. You're only going to save about, if you started now, you might be able to get it about 2.5, 3 months earlier. But for that cost, usually it's about $6,000 to $7,000 altogether or something for the cost to do it. And also, I think that idea needs to be thought through by members and notified for board members that you talk with, and let them know, because that board would then probably have to make a motion to list it, and they have decided at the channel membership meeting. I think that's the efficient way to do it. If it's to be done, I'm not going to express any discussion on whether to do it or not to do it at this point. Okay, thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Adler, I appreciate it. Sir, is there any other board members that have anything to say? Ms. Baldwin?
Okay, it's me again.
It's okay.
I think the size 4x6 is too small. We have, a riding lawnmower. It won't fit in that size. The size that we have right now is the biggest that we could have legally. We have to take the handlebar from the push mower, unscrew it, push it down, just to squeeze it into that size that we have now. So I think you need to think about a little bit larger where you get both your push mower and your riding mower into the shed and possibly anything else that needs to be put in. Maybe you need to do something down the road to get it to where it get the residents' opinion of what size they want. I mean, and why does Driftwood have sheds that stand alone?
Well, because Driftwood and San Clemente have different rules than we do.
We're in the same community. I don't understand that. Why? I mean, the hurricane hits their street just as well it would hit my street.
Well, the reason that I think it's the reason that people have told me about is that they have, the family sections have different, they can have fences, for instance, the seniors can't. They can also have sheds, but they have to get a county permit for their sheds.
I would get a county permit.
I know, but you live in a senior village and the fences are not allowed, or excuse me, the sheds of that size aren't allowed.
It doesn't make sense to me why the family sections can get away with things that the senior centers, senior residents don't. It doesn't make logical sense. We're in the same Timber Oaks community. We are not separated by different management companies. It's all Timber Oaks. It doesn't make sense. I mean, you can drive down Ponderosa or whatever that street is coming off of Little, and you see 3 of them that aren't even nowhere near the homes. They're out in the open.
Thank you for making us aware of that. I
Okay.
appreciate it. Renee?
Elaine Nyford, Berlin Drive. I have to agree with her that I think a 4x6 is too small. I also think that a lot of people would like a larger shed. They don't. I know the first house we had here was a 1-car garage, and let me tell you, if you had the 1 car and you had to let somebody out before you came in because you could only open 1 door, it's absolutely a necessity. I think that they've been allowed in the family section mostly because they have children, and I think that's the fencing as well. Saying that, I don't think it looks too good. I think you need a committee to look at this because you need to decide what color, what material, where it will be located, and all of that should be put into effect when you allow this. Otherwise, you're going to have a mess. You can't have someone with a wooden one, which is painted black, and another one that's painted who knows what color. So I think you really need to specify everything that needs to be done with this. But I think it is a good idea, but I think it should be no smaller than a 5x7. So a lot of people have outdoor equipment that they need to store. I have plenty of storage, but it sure would be nice to put some of the stuff in there. And it gives those white ugly frogs places to visit.
Thank you for your comments, Renee. I know you want it, but could I recognize this resident? Please don't get angry with me. Just trying to be polite here. Chris?
There's people that have put up a second shed. They got one on the side of the house, one on the back of the house. Because they need to put stuff away. If you lay it out, if you lay your canoe or kayak or whatever, you get a violation on the side of the house. There has to be something better than the plastic storage container. That's what they are. They're not sheds. They're storage containers.
Thank you for your comments. Okay, where are we on this now? Jean, I'm so sorry, excuse me.
Okay, first of all, I would agree we need larger sheds. However, Pasco County has a 5-foot setback requirement from the property line. Most of the houses here do not have that distance between the property line and their house when you add a 7-foot shed. So, you know, just saying, maybe the 4-foot would work, but it's gonna have to be proven when you go to apply your ARC.
Dave, I'll come back to you because I have over here, Mr. Ball.
Okay, I've listened to everything that's been said, and my concern before we even got into this today, before I came here, my concern is what I call the slippery slope syndrome. Right now, there's a lot of 3x5 storage containers. The proposal is for a 4x6. I've then heard a proposal, no, that's not big enough, it should be 5x7. I think there was even another proposal for something bigger. Where does it end? These are storage containers for personal use of lawn equipment. I don't know whether we want to be storing or need to be storing or sit-down mowers and any other grand equipment we might have. I, for one, I live in San Clemente. I have a 1-car garage. My car goes in that garage along with fertilizer spreaders, lawn equipment, chairs, work tables, swimming gear, tools. I got a workbench in there, my washer, my dryer, a chest freezer. It all goes in there. It fits. I don't know if better organization is what people need rather than a bigger storage shed. That's my view.
Mr. Toller.
Okay, I forgot to mention this, that we talk about sheds, it should be attached to the house, so the weather ones I know in family sections aren't attached to the house. But what I would propose is one is attached to the house. I would like to see myself in the back of the house. I don't think putting it on the side of the house is practical. Besides, I know my yard. I don't have much side yard on either side of my house. So, and I know a lot of the homes in here are the same boat that I'm in. So they have to actually go into their neighbor's yard to get into their shed. And the reason why I have to disagree with you a little bit on this, Dennis, because you have a 1-car, they call that a car and a cart. So your garage is longer probably than most. Besides, if you own a truck and you put that in the garage, it fits from one end to the other are almost perfect. So it depends on what kind of car you got. If you got a Volkswagen, you got to pay. That's my
Okay, Rick, did you have a comment to make, sir?
Yeah, this is exactly why I said that I think we need to take time to figure out and discuss this out. There's a lot of different ideas that just came out in this last 10, 15 minutes. And, either you get not just yay or nay, but size and like that. That's why I think we need to take the time to look into it, try to figure out what is the best, what can we tolerate, and what can we not tolerate. Because it is kind of a permanent, semi-permanent decision to make. If we're going to make it bigger, what size, and all that. So that's exactly why I don't think we should pass it today. Or I think we should take the time to review it and maybe have a study committee. And we're not going to please everybody. But at least to try to come out with the best what we can do. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Rick. Dale?
Oh, yeah, on 10602. I know Ellen's already been up here. And we're not considering it right now because the cost of our shed has went up $300 from what we want. But a lot of people, they have a lawn service that comes in and mows and all that. I still do my own. I've got a riding mower, a Husqvarna riding mower, 46-inch deck. And Patrick told me, well, won't that fit in the little shed that you have? If I tried to do that, I could back in and recover the seat. But I've got the riding mower, I've got a walk behind, and I would appreciate it at that time, 7x7. He said, nope, you can't do it because it's 8 foot 1.5 inches high, which would have fit right up underneath my overhang on the lanai roof. I could have mounted it to the wall in the back of our patio. And I think the art committee would have to come out and establish that I have room back there for this. I would appreciate it anyway, but like I said, it's $300 more now, but thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments, Dale. I appreciate it. Okay, we did have a motion, did we?
I'd like to make a motion that we table the proposal of shed sizes.
Second.
We have a motion to table the shed size discussion, and it's been seconded. Is there any other comments by board members that they'd like to make? Any comments? Okay, without further comment, I'll call the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Without further ado, passed by unanimous vote. And Dave, I suggest that when, like Rick Agler gave some good advice on this, that when we have the annual meeting and we have notice, that would be the most cost-effective way. And plus, it would give us time to, get some input and get a committee formed to study the issue so that we can move forward with it if people desire it. Okay? All right, we're going to move on to fines and suspension. We have this is one from the RV lot. We have a guy that parks his RV. He moved the car stop out, and he actually pulled his motorhome. It's further out, so it's making it difficult for other people to be able to get theirs in and out. He seems to be unresponsive to us. And so without any other way to go about it, we want to send it to fines and suspension. Do I have a motion?
I move that we send this to fine and suspension, RV lot, slip 17, looks like a junkyard to me.
Yes, it does. Do I have a second for that?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and we have it seconded to send the tenant at RV lot slip 17 to fines and suspension. Without any further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The next item is from 8031 Juarez Drive in Fort Ritchie. This is a maintenance of the lot, and I'd like a motion to send it to the committee.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The next,
Mr. President,
yes, sir.
I haven't heard any amounts. How much are we finding them? $10 a day, $50 a day?
You're absolutely right, and I apologize for that.
I think the first, I think also we didn't do that on motor.
Yeah, we did. Let's go ahead back and do it again, because we want to do it right. And thank you for pointing that out to me, Rick. I'm still getting used to doing this as well. Can we erase anything, or do we have to? Debbie, do we need to erase stuff and then do it over? Or?
No, I'll just amend it to state $50 per day for each day
Up to 5,000.
up to 5,000,
Okay.
the standard
So it'll be
procedure.
$50 a day. Let's go ahead and do that for each of them so that we're legally protected here. This is in regards to RV license slip 17. We want to send it to fines and suspension. Let me finish the thing and then I'll come to you, Dave, for discussion. Our fine slip 17, up to $50 a day, up to $5,000. Is there any comments from the board, Dave?
I got a question. It's a rental spot. It's not his own spot. So can you charge him $50 a day for a rental spot, not his own property? He's renting that from us.
Yeah, he's renting it from us, and he needs to keep it acceptable.
Cleaned up, but I mean, can you still find him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you send letters? Did you send him a letter, a violation letter, or notify him in
Yeah,
that way?
May the 4th.
Yes, he even came in the office and personally signed for it.
Then I would think that you can fine him for not listening to it, or you can take the spot away from him.
Just a quick question, though.
Yes.
Just throwing it out there. Have to in the letter say that he can be fined $50 a day up to 5,000?
No, he'll get a letter that's going to direct him to go to fines and suspension.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, did we vote on this?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Cox.
Jack, the letter that went out to this particular resident is virtually the same format as a lot violation for maintenance and such.
Letter specifically says, to the owner, it has come to my attention that you need to remove all the ladders and other materials from behind your RV and back it closer to the wall, allowing more space for others to navigate. Thank you for your anticipated cooperation. That was on May 4th.
You know, he's had ample time to.
Yeah, more than ample.
So, are we voting on this now? So I need a motion, or do we already get a
We
motion?
have your motion, I have, you're fine.
Okay, we have a
Moved and
motion.
seconded,
And
yes.
it's seconded. June, do you have any further discussion? Okay, I guess we'll call the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? No, so it's been passed. We're gonna go over this the second time at 8031 Juarez Drive. I omitted to say that we were gonna assess a $50 fine up to $5,000. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you, the motion passes. The next address is 10628 Encino Court. This is maintenance of lot. And I reviewed the picture. Do I hear a motion to on this property?
I make a motion that 10628 Encino Drive be turned over to finding at $50 a day up to $5,000.
Just a correction, it's Encino Court.
Encino Court.
Sorry. Mr. Owen?
I'd just like to say one thing. When I was on fines and suspension, this guy was fined for the same thing. Not his first time doing it.
Okay. Well, he's gonna have a second chance at it if we pass this. So, we have a motion. We have a seconded. Seconded, thank you, June. Any further discussion? Without further discussion, I'll call the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous, consent, and, we'll move on to the next one. 11010 Salt Tree Drive in Newport Richey. This is for maintenance of lot. And I'm looking at the picture here that was taken, and boy, is this needing attention. So I'll take a motion.
I make a motion that 11010 Salt Tree Drive, Port Richey, be fined $50 a day up to $5,000 for maintenance of their lot.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Who's that? Dennis, seconded. Without further discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye opposed? Unanimous. Going to the next one, 11124 Salt Tree Drive in Port Richey. They have, they're parking on the grass. And, obviously, we have a picture of it here, and clearly they're parking on the grass. So I'd like a motion to send it to finding.
So moved up $50 a day up to $5,000.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second, without further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. The motion passes. The next one is, from, 10641 Timber Lane in Fort Ritchie. This is for maintenance of lot. And, I understand that this is a house that's in foreclosure, and it is in really bad need of some maintenance on the outside in many categories. So I'll take a motion to send it to finding.
I make a motion to send 10641 Timber Lane to finding $50 a day up to $5,000.
Do I have a second, Bill?
Second.
All those any discussion on this matter? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The unanimous pass. Thank you, board members. I just have one last thing today, the correspondence, and I wanted to read this.
Oh, we, skip 8730 Woodcrest.
Okay, thank you so much for pointing this out. I don't have this one on me. I must have misplaced it. This is 8730 Woodcrest Drive in Fort Ritchie, and this is for parking the vehicle on the grass. And it definitely is clearly parking on the grass. So I'll take a motion to send this to fine and suspension.
So I have a motion. So moved. Do I have $50 a day up to $5,000?
Thank you, sir. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Without further discussion, I'll call the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed? Okay, we finished with that portion of it. The last part before we do adjournment and open forum was a letter that was sent to Jack, to the board. And I'd like to read it to you because I think it's, shows the dedication of our staff and what they accomplish for us, it seems like every day of the week. It says, regarding the manager's update on Timber Oaks property management or property maintenance, just a note to say thank you to Mike, Richard, Nelson, and to all of the Timber Oaks maintenance staff, including the front office assistant staff, for the constant vigilant monitoring of this very exceptional community, which ensures a safe and equally aesthetic environment. Through the number of improvements, repairs, and additions may not be readily acknowledged by some residents, be assured it is never overlooked. It is greatly appreciated by many in praise for all the efforts and strides being made daily. It may be gratefully exchanged with a nod, a smile, or a wink. The vigilant preservation and sustainability of this unique and par excellent community is admirable. P.S. The manager's update should be a permanent feature in the monthly Timber Times. It is especially notable for all of the residents to be kept up to date as to the management's responsibilities and duties that are being performed. It ends with an asterisk that says, and you all deserve an annual bonus in your salary for exceptionally accomplished tasks. It's signed Danielle Bensara of Winding Way Drive. And I think that all of us that are in this room who are really well connected with the work that these folks do probably could wholeheartedly agree with that. I'll take a motion I'd like a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second, please. We have a motion and a second by Bill to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, thank you so much, board members and audience. We'll now have open forum. Do we have somebody that wants to speak?
Hi there, I'll be real quick. Art from Artemis from Spanish Gate. I just want to thank Jack. We had a few residents that complained about some rats that were living maybe in the retention pond between Elda and Merrimack and Stansbury. But Jack, he immediately got on the phone, got the flowers out, and the retention pond looks good, both of them. So I'm sure you run away when every time you say anything, but I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your
Well, I got
time.
your attention. Hold on. You do the gardening, right?
No, that's Lori Kreisel.
Okay.
I did garden there too.
Marion also has been doing, but the Garden Club was the ones that originally did that. That's Lori Kreisel, but if she's not available, we can always get a hold of Marion Evans. She's quite interested in the flowers and the flower beds, and actually did these on her own out there, 3 of them. She might want to plant those planters. In the front bed there with some flowers. She's away right now on a mission to help somebody that's having a hard time.
Okay.
She'll be back, but we'll let her know. We'll be able to let her know that she's up there and ask her to work on it. Is there anybody else that wants to make any statements in open forum? Thank you all for showing up, and we appreciate it.